There's more and more, let's say, internet myths, misstatements, straight out BS, lies, clickbait out there. It increases every single day. So we're going to talk about that. Make sure we protect you and your family and get you all the correct information. So my name is Ed Weir, former manager of the Social Security Administration. I saw the result of a lot of this misinformation, lies, myths over several decades. So now that I am kind of semi-retired, I retired for about 5 minutes, and here I am helping people throughout the country get all the benefits they're entitled to. So we're doing pretty good. We're finding lots of money for people. Social Security is not doing a great job, but the internet is doing even a worse job out there, passing on information. Unfortunately, they're passing on a lot of misinformation and straight out lies. The most recent one, the biggest one, is a bunch of social media websites. We're talking about this $600 check that was coming, some type of COLA increase. It was all BS. And the Social Security Administration had to put out on the top of their website, the $600 increase, this check is all BS. It's an internet myth. It's a lie. The new commissioner of the Social Security Administration had to come out and said it was a lie. Over 500,000 calls to Social Security offices. And again, when I ran my office, this happened every now and then. Some YouTuber or TikToker or whoever would go out there and say something stupid. And that's all we would do for that week was answer those calls and talk to those people at the front windows saying, no, this is BS, this is BS, this is BS. And, customer service is bad enough. Social Security is at a 27-year low in terms of staffing. So that ruins customer service for everybody. So disability claims were, delayed. Survivor benefits were delayed. Retirement benefits were delayed because we were spending all our time telling people that, what they heard on YouTube and TikTok was all BS. So please, people out there, you YouTubers, I understand you're trying to do clickbait and, get your people to watch your channel or whatever the case may be. But yeah, you're doing everybody a disservice by just straight out lying. There are other places we see a lot of BS and kind of myths. Is some local politician is, trying to get votes. They're wondering whether they're going to be able to win their primary or, whatever the case may be. So they come out with something. They come out with some bill. They've never done anything in Congress before. And all of a sudden they're going to come up with this bill that helps you out. And so they pass the bill, the old schoolhouse rock, how a bill becomes a law. So they introduce this bill to give y'all, free ice cream and unicorns. I actually did a longer video on this about a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, but it's never going to go anywhere. It's just to get your votes. And usually it works. They say, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, and now we're going to get you some more checks and increase your COLA and all this kind of stuff and vote for me. And as soon as the election is over, it's all forgotten about. So politicians definitely, they contribute to the BS out there. A lot of other YouTube channels, what they do is you can, if you go in to YouTube or TikTok channel and you see that person and they're talking about X, Y, or Z, more money coming in or something like that, go back to their previous videos, the last, 6 months or so, and just kind of scan, the thumbnails, as they call them, and see that, this person pretty much every day says the same exact thing. There's going to be checks coming next month and more money this and more money that. And then it's like, wait a second, if this guy or gal was honest and true, he or she has been talking about this for 6 months. And if all of this was true, I'd be getting another, $147,000 in my bank account every month, which obviously you're probably not, unless you hit the lottery or something, but it's not Social Security related. So maybe that person is just doing the same thing over and over and over. And unfortunately, I've watched for you some of these channels, and basically what their MO is, if they say that, again, they take this politician, oh, there's, $400 next month or, $300 next month. If that one politician in that local area gets his way, which will never happen in a million years, and so therefore that money is not coming. Or one of the other things they do if this law that was proposed 20 years ago had passed, y'all would get another $300 next month, but it didn't. So therefore it's not. I'm just giving you that information, and that's their kind of MO. Yeah, it's just so much clickbait out there. Another big one is $1,700 checks coming next month, $1,900 checks coming month, $3,800 checks coming month. And it sounds very official. Congress has mandated the Department of Treasury to issue checks immediately. And you're like, wow, that sounds official. Congress, Department of Treasury. Well, that's what's happened since 1935 is Congress has mandated Social Security to issue checks. And who actually issues the checks? The Department of Treasury. So that happens every single month since 1935. So there's nothing any revolutionary about next month, special checks coming next month. It's just everybody's regular checks. And the regular checks is average check anywhere from $1,700 to about $1,900. If you wait until your full retirement age and you pay the max over 3,500 years, your benefit would be $3,822 this year. If you waited till 70 and you paid 35 years max throughout your life, the max check you can get is $4,873. So that's where they get those numbers. Oh, checks coming out next month for $4,873. Yeah, that's for those people that paid max for 35 years and delayed their retirement for 70. So yeah, more clickbait out there. And obviously the other one that's very popular the last few years is the whole stimulus check thing, the third check or the fourth check. That's the big one going around right now is there's a fourth check update. Oh, let's talk about the update and fourth check. Listen, come check out my channel and sit there and listen for 5 or 10 minutes and find out. Yeah, nothing. Yeah. As I used to tell people in terms of Social Security, if it actually passes the House of Representatives and is approved by the Senate and then gets signed by the president, and then the president tells Social Security Administration to issue those checks, Department of Treasury actually cuts them. Yeah, until it's in your bank account, then I wouldn't necessarily spend it. That doesn't mean that you should sit by passively. If you believe X, Y, and Z stimulus or X, Y, and Z COLA increase, I've talked about why I think COLA should be increased in another video. But if you believe that should be done, then be proactive and reach out to your politicians and say, hey, yeah, I would like that to happen. So in terms of Medicare, the other scams going around now, it's been going around for a while. Luckily, the CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, is actually cutting down on this. It's the grocery cards where you see advertised on Facebook and different places. You get a flex card with thousands of dollars of this and thousands of dollars of dental and electricity and rental assistance and stuff like that. And those are usually a Medicare Advantage dual eligible plans for people with Medicare and Medicaid. And there are certain ones in the country that are really, really good. And what these companies are doing is they're taking that one that's really good in the country and they advertise it to the whole country. And then you call them up and say, yeah, I'm calling about that, $3 million grocery card. And they say, where do you live? Anywhere in the United States other than that one little county. And they say, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not available to you. But they got you on the phone now and they got your information and they start doing the whole hard sell. And so, but CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, is actually cracking down on that. They said, it's kind of a bait and switch, right? I think it's a classic definition of a bait and switch. And they said, yeah, no, you can't do that anymore. You can only advertise, programs that are available in that particular area where they're available. You can't send it out to the entire country. Another one I've seen I do a live Q&A. I've done it every day for the last 2 months. And a lot of people are saying they're being told that the Medicare Supplement Plan N is no longer available, which is 100% incorrect. Let me get back to the grocery cards and the flex cards. Those do exist. The grocery cards and the flex cards do exist, but it depends on your particular area. So if you're interested in it, you have to be dual eligible in terms of Medicare and Medicaid. So if you need help with that, reach out to a broker, an agent, know and trust. If not, you can call me, email me, and I can find someone to help you in your that's licensed and contracted in your particular area to see what's actually available. But in terms of the Medicare Supplement Plan N, no, there. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I recommend Plan N, Medicare Supplement Plan N, and then G, and then Medicare Advantage. For the most part, if you have Medicare and Medicaid, then I recommend Medicare Advantage. If you have TRICARE, maybe Medicare Advantage. You have VA, definitely Medicare Advantage. Yeah, it really depends on your particular situation. No two situations seem to be exactly the same. That's why in Social Security, there's 20,000 pages of policy, the exceptions to exceptions to exceptions. Another one that pretty much died out, but I still see some articles every now and then. When you click these articles, there's just like a crazy headline, no spouse benefits. This is the big one. And it gives you like the first paragraph, and then it says you have to, accept or click the cookie to see anything else. And that's where they got you. That's why, they put this crazy headline on there about no more spouse benefits. It ended. Yeah, that's an internet lie, myth, BS. What it was is it was file and suspend. That ended back in 2016. So basically, it was a strategy. I'm not going to go into detail because nobody can use it anymore. That's what they were talking about. The people that were old enough to be able to use that, the grandfathered in, are they're past that age now, so nobody can use that particular file and suspend strategy that no longer exists. And so that's what happens is they take a kernel of truth that, yes, for those 5 people that were left that could take advantage of that particular strategy, they've aged out and they're no longer able to take it anymore. So they you know publish this article or YouTube or video or whatever the case may be and say spouse benefits are over. No, 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 no. That spouse benefits are still alive and well. We find money for people every single day. Just found $1,100 a month for someone yesterday, $400 a month for someone last week. Yeah, we're finding millions of dollars for people, lifetime earnings, lifetime benefits. Probably the scammiest of the scammy was this Affordable Care Act, Obamacare marketplace that these Affordable Care Act insurance agents were putting in Facebook and different places, social media, Instagram, whatever. And do you want to, zero this and a zero this, push the button. And as soon as you push the button, there was a bunch of small print there, sometimes not even any small print. And the agent immediately switched your plan without even knowing it. And hundreds of thousands of people are you know very inconvenienced, lost their doctors, were ready for surgery, and then all of a sudden their plan was changed without them knowing it because they clicked this button. Medicare, Center for Medicare Medicaid Services, which also controls that, regulates that, really came down on this one, and they are yanking the licenses from agents throughout the country. So good job there. So now, they can't switch your plan. It's kind of like I don't, I think I know my audience. Remember the phone slam thing where you get called from, Ma Bell and, AT&T or whatever, and they just change your, your phone plan without even knowing about it. Now you have to go through all that. You have to confirm and, do the code and stuff like that because they came down and changed the laws to make sure they, you couldn't switch your plans. But that's what they were doing with the Affordable Care Act. They were just, hello, okay, your plan has changed. You lost your doctors, you lost this, and but luckily, if you know anybody like that, I've just added a team of Affordable Care Act, Obamacare insurance brokers that I think are the best in the country. So if you need help with that, make sure you reach out. And so those are, I'm going to do a regular update on all of the scams and the BS and the clickbait out there to keep you all safe. All right, so let's spend the rest of the time answering your questions. Let's see if we can find any more money out there. So if you're just here for the clickbait and the scams warnings, make sure you subscribe. That way you can find us in the future when you do have questions. All right, let's see here. Zippy. Oh, wait a second. I think I clicked too soon here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they tell you on their voicemail machine saying it's been a false advertised SSI. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, they're going out to Social Security is, you know, they're doing a big thing about that whole $600 thing. I'm collecting early Social Security at 63, $764 a month. Would I be able to apply for SSI when I turn 65? Absolutely. I mean, you can apply for SSI now. I just talked about that yesterday, and a lot of people watch that video on SSI, because the title was SSI is welfare. And because it is welfare, SSI, Supplemental Security Income, the welfare-based program that Social Security administers. But I got a bunch of responses that, no, it's not a welfare because we pay into it. It's an annuity and stuff like that. And I said, no, you're talking about SSI, SSA. I'm talking about SSI, the welfare-based program. So, um, yeah, people don't, they just comment without watching. But anyway, what are you going to do? Yeah, if so, SSI is the welfare-based program. If you're only receiving $764, then the max you can get on SSI is $943. So there might be an extra close to 200 there. If you're disabled, you can apply for SSI in any time if you're disabled, low income, low resources, because it's a welfare-based program. But if you're not disabled, absolutely, yes, please, please, please. When you turn 65, a few months before you turn 65, please contact Social Security and say, hey, I want to, I've only getting $764. Yes, because, and also when you turn 65, you're also going to have to start paying that Part B deductible. So at that time, it might be, $200 a month. So you're going to make even less. And make sure you also apply for the Medicare savings program. So go to your Medicaid office, apply for Medicaid, and then tell them to go ahead and pay for your Part B premium, the $174 when that starts. So hopefully you'll get a couple $100 from SSI and then a couple $100 from the Medicare savings program. And hopefully that will make your life easier. Everyland, I applied for disability last year in June. How does it take? Yeah, wow, that's 12 months. 6 to 9 months. When I took hundreds of thousands of disability claims, I always told people they would get a response back in 3 to 6 months, but that has all changed. I retired a couple of years ago now. Yeah, it's taking, I'm still in contact with a bunch of my coworkers there, and they're saying, yeah, 6 to 9 months if you're lucky. But 12 months, that's really, really pushing it. So I would not necessarily contact the local Social Security office because it's out of the Social Security office's hands. It's gone on to DDS, the state agency, Disability Determination Service. So I would contact the DDS in your state and ask for the examiner that's reviewing your particular case and just say, hey, what's up? By the way, I went to another doctor last week and I just wanted to tell you and, make up some type of reason or something, but say, hey, how's everything? And it's been a year, and do I look like anything's going to happen? So so this sounds like it's an initial claim. So yeah, a year. If it was an administrative law judge, then yeah, 2 years unfortunately is the norm. A year and a half or so. Can I get Social Security? I worked for 20 plus years and paid into Social Security, and I also worked 25 years in a job that pays me a pension. A Social Security employee told me I couldn't collect on both. Why I can't? Yeah, no. No. It sounds like you worked for a non-covered pension. So that means you work for a state, local, city government that did not pay into Social Security. So yeah, the employee was incorrect. You will be able to collect your Social Security. It's just going to be recalculated correctly. The numbers you get on the SSA.gov website are your estimates, and right below it in big bold letters, it said, unless you're getting a non-covered pension. And sounds like you are. So you will be able to collect some benefits from Social Security, depends on how much you worked and paid into Social Security and everything. And it sounds like you're going to get your non-covered pension. So yep, you can get both. Actually, when you file for benefits, that's what you're going to have to provide. You're going to have to provide a WEP letter, the Windfall Elimination Provision letter. And it'll say 3 things on that letter. It'll say when you're entitled to that pension, when you're eligible for that pension, and how much that pension is. And that way they can calculate your Social Security benefits correctly. So it's okay to tell Social Security they can't contact my two places I worked as self-employed. Okay, yeah. So Zippy asked this question yesterday. Yeah, yeah, you can tell them anything. Yeah, and tell them, that it's going to cause, whatever issues for you. And yeah, if I get denied, would my best option to be a lawyer? Um, it sounds as though again, it sounds like you're in the initial stage. So the second stage, the reconsideration stage, SSA 561. Hopefully, you watched my 4 videos I did that gives you all kinds of tips, tricks, and secrets on filing for disability. The second stage, SSA 561, it is super super easy. It'll take you, 10 minutes to do that form. And if you want to pay a lawyer $7,200 for 10 minutes, then yeah, go for it. But I don't recommend it because it's so easy. They just do the same thing you'll do. You'll just fill out the form and say, I disagree with your decision because of, and they'll do that for $7,200. Or actually, it's going to be more. So, but the third stage, the administrative law judge stage, yeah, then I would recommend a local lawyer that knows the local judges and everything. Don't get one of those, big clearinghouses that you see advertised on TV. Let's see. I so appreciate you, Dr. Ed. My anxiety is so high, fear tries to get a grip on me. I always pray. Social Security turned me down 1010 with some other woman in my account. Not exactly sure. Your disability, yeah, if it turned you down, then yes, definitely file a reconsideration, an appeal. Let's see. Yeah, the update check. Yeah, the stimulus update. It's not there until it's there. No, but they told me they have given me underpaid. Okay. Let's see. All right. Monday, can I call to get Social Security until 60, then choose higher amount? Am I locked in forever because I'm getting it at 60? I'm sorry. Yeah, if you're looking at survivor benefits, you can get it at 60, but yeah, once you lock it in at 60, it pretty much just stays the same. Obviously, you get COLA increases. But yeah, surviving benefits starts at 60, and then they're pretty much locked in terms of, you're taking it early. Uh, And when can I want to donate to you? All right, I hope. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's a thanks button that YouTube has down there, so you can click the little thanks and yeah, whatever you can support. Buy me a cup of coffee, a beer. My infamous moniker, one beer Weir, even in the Marine Corps. I'm a lightweight. Will Social Security cover me for the underpayment on my second back pay? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where SSI covered me for the underpay. Yeah. Um, Yeah, if they underpaid you, then Social Security they pay you. It usually, unfortunately, takes them forever, and sometimes they do it wrong, and so you have to keep up on them. Make sure you get it. Make sure you get the right amount. Apply for disability, but I'll be 60 in August, and I'm also a widow. So if I get denied, so can I a lawyer or wait till August for widows? Yeah, any of those. So if you file for disability, but you're going to be 60, so if you're eligible, you could have applied for the disabled widows benefits. Disabled widow benefits are from 50 to 60 years old. Regular widows starts at 60. Can I move to my country and have my 2 surgery done without losing my SSI? I'm 64 now. I got my disability when I was 64. SSI is the welfare-based program, so you can't, yeah, you have to be back in the United States on a regular basis to continue to get the welfare-based program. Um, Good evening. Is there a way to avoid IRMA on Social Security from sale of a home? No. Is quitting my job a life-changing event? Yes. So yeah, you can, the same year you sell your home and get those capital gains, you stop your job or lose your job or reduce your earnings. And as long as you're under 103,000 or 206,000 if you're married, then no IRMA. And the only IRMA, the IRMA only lasts for 1 year too. 1 year as well. So it's decided on 2 years ago, and the IRMA will only be for 12 months. But then, last year, If you sold another home or get another 206,000, then you get the IRMA again the following year. But it's only 12-month period. It's not forever, like the Part B penalty, that if you delay signing up for the Part B penalty, or if you delay signing up for Part B when you're supposed to, then you're penalized 10% for every 12 months you did not get Part B when you should have. And that's forever. Part D, the drug plan, same thing. If you don't do it at the correct time, penalties forever. But the IRMA, it's only one year. Not much consolation, but just want to make sure you have that information. I'm turning 60 in September. I am on SSI on my own account, so probably SSDI. I have been married for over 10 years. Can I apply for spouse support? I've been getting SSI since. Yeah, if you're getting SSI, you have to. You're mandated to file because SSI is a welfare-based program, so you have to file for any other benefits available. Okay, so it looks like, yeah. People still messing up the SSI versus SSDI. And I try to give accurate information based on your question. So SSI is the welfare-based program. I work full-time and at 62 file for Social Security. I was never told about income limits. Wow, yeah. It should actually be on your application too and on the website. But yeah, the first year there is, I just did a video on monthly income, the annual earnings limit, or the monthly income limit and the annual earnings limit. I just did one. It came out today. So make sure you watch that with all the details. Let's see what's happening here on this other. I'm a U.S. citizen. Do I need to change in Social Security office my status? I got it 20 years ago. Yes. I mean, you don't have to. In my office, we used to actually go down to the naturalization ceremonies. And when people raised their right hand and became U.S. citizens, we would have a little table there that said, okay, now it's time to upgrade your Social Security card and update your citizenship. So, but now most offices don't do that anymore because they just don't have the staff. So yeah, we actually did it for Steve Wynn's wife, and that was the best naturalization ceremony in the history of the United States, probably at the Wynn Hotel. And yeah, no, all expenses. No, yeah, it was crazy expensive for him, obviously. But I think they got divorced. But anyway, so there's that. So yeah, you can, if you want to, update your citizenship, go down there. We don't necessarily have to. When you go file for your benefits, your retirement benefits or disability or survivors or anything like that, then you can update it at that time. So if you really want to get it updated, go for it. If you changed your name, then definitely you have to go down and update your Social Security. Can you get survival benefits and your own Social Security? Yes, but one goes on top of the other. And so if survivor benefits, obviously the higher benefit, then you get that higher amount minus your own. So you don't get, like, if you get 400 on your own and 600 there, you don't get 1,000, you get 600. So you get 400 from your own and an extra 200 above and beyond that. So yeah, so you don't get both. But you can be duly entitled, receiving benefits from two different records, but one offsets the other. What do you know about Windfall Act currently being discussed? Yeah, more clickbait. It's not going to happen. People have been talking about it for 20 years. That's more clickbait to get you to vote for them or click. Yeah, watch my video on the Windfall Challenge. Take the WEP Challenge. Nobody has taken. I've thrown down the gauntlet and nobody has picked it up. Can you get survivor? Okay, I've already answered that one. Let's see what else we got here. 16-year-old receives Social Security benefits from his deceased father. If he gets a summer job, will he lose benefits? No. Summer job unless he makes over $22,320. Do I have to sign up for prescriptions on Medicare or can I add it later? Thank you. Yeah, if you are same time as Part B, when you have to sign up for Part B, you also have to sign up for Part D, the prescription drugs. And that's what a lot of people are not giving correct information on. Is the person, the agent or the broker signs them up for a Medicare supplement plan. That's usually what it is. And those don't come with Part D in there. And particularly next year, it looks like agents and brokers aren't going to get any commission on Part D. So I think it's going to be even 10 times worse. But it's really easy to do Part D. Go to Medicare.gov and just put in your prescriptions. But yeah, if you don't, then you're going to get penalized for the rest of your life. And people say, but I don't take prescriptions. Well, I don't get in car accidents this month, but I still pay auto insurance. So it's insurance. Does Social SSI get increased and when? Yep, every year, COLA increase. I was going to wait to get my Social Security, just turned 62, but there's no guarantee we'll be here at 67. Yeah, for any of us, no guarantee. Life is what happens while we're making other plans. But don't believe the life expectancy thing, what, 78 for women and 76 for men. That doesn't apply to anybody here, because you are understanding the words coming out of my mouth. That means you're not a baby. A baby born in the United States, their life expectancy is 76, 78. But if you made it this far, you can add basically another 10 years. It's the mortality rate. So you go on ssa.gov and it'll tell you the mortality rate at your particular age. So if you made it this far, yeah, you're probably going to be around here, up until the 80s, until you're in 80s. So your job is to make ssa.gov mortality rate charts look stupid by beating the heck out of the spread. Was it Jimmy the Greek? Almost 61, not worked in 30 years. Wow. My spouse is disabled. I physically unable to work. Oh, okay. Disability. Yeah, unfortunately, if you haven't worked in 30 years, then you're not currently insured. You're insured. You probably paid into Social Security decades ago. So you're insured for retirement stuff, but not disability, because for disability, Social Security, SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, you had to work 5 out of the last 10 years. But you are potentially eligible for SSI, Supplemental Security Income, the welfare-based benefit. But that's if you're disabled, if you have low income and resources and all that. So I would definitely check out that if that is you fit within those categories. How many months of earned income count toward benefits calculation? 35 years. My husband turned 65, still working with health insurance with big company. Does he have to apply for P? You probably mean B. Nope. If he has health insurance from work and the employer has 20 or more employees and he's happy with it, and if you're on that plan too and you're happy with it, no, you don't have to do anything at 65. But when he retires and stops receiving health insurance from that work at 70 or 75 or 80, then he just has to fill out a couple of forms. One of those forms he takes down to his employer, the HR. HR fills it out and says, what's Lori A. They had health insurance from current work since 1965. So for the last 10 years, they had health insurance from current work and no penalty whatsoever. Easy, easy, easy. Form is 564 and the 40B. I've got videos on how to fill those out. You can actually do them online now too. So I received a state pension of $1,000 in the VA disability. Should I file for Social Security disability? Yeah. I mean, nothing precludes you. None of those prevent you from filing for disability at all. SSI and SS income limits are different. Yes, SSI is a welfare-based program, so pretty much any type of work you do. I did a video 3 or 4 days ago on SSI and working, and I went through all of the details, all of the numbers. But regular Social Security, not SSI, but regular Social Security, that is retirement, survivor benefits, spouse benefits, all of those have, the $22,320 a year income limits. How long do you have to be married to get your spouse death benefit? If you were married to that person when that person passed away, 9 months. There are exceptions. The person was in the military, died in a line of battle. If it was an accident, so 9 months. So I got survivor benefits at 59 and a half and put it on suspend. I will retire at 65. Will take my own if it's higher. Yeah, sounds like a plan. So you got survivor benefits, and then I guess you went back to work. So you went ahead and stopped that so you can go back to work. And then, once you hit your full retirement, 65, if you stop working at 65, that's not your full retirement age. Um, so that's when your Medicare starts, but your full retirement age is probably what, 66 in 6 months or 8 months or 67 or whatever the case may be. All right, let's see. Let me go back to, let's see. Dun, dun. If I skipped any of these, I apologize. I'm working on 3 or 4 different platforms here. I work full time and at 62 file for Social Security. I was never, okay, yeah, okay, I already answered that one. While waiting for the reconsideration of my SSDI seasonment, I must get income. So will this harm my reconsideration app? No, no. I mean, yeah, that's an unfortunate part is you take your disability benefits, you file your disability application because you're unable to work because of your disability, but your mortgage company or your landlord is, doesn't probably take that as payment. So you still have to live. So as long as you're under the SGA, under 1550, I wouldn't go right up to 1550 because, I would stay about 100 or so dollars under that. Yes, but you can continue to work. And if you work for a month or two and make over that, then Social Security can just write it off as a UWA, which is an unsuccessful work attempt. So if you go over and then, push yourself and then you're just not able to do it anymore, even though you've gone over, you can just say, yeah, I did the right thing. I tried to go back to work. And that's actually, sometimes they look at that positively. I'm on Social Security and will be getting a spousal share of CalPERS. Will this reduce my Social Security? No, because it's not on your earnings. Or is that in addition to it? I was not employed by the city. No, no, it doesn't affect yours because it's not based on your work. So you're good there. But it does affect your husband's. So that's why the PIA, the primary insurance amount, you know, is what it is. So it's already affecting his, which will obviously affect the benefit amount you receive. Can I move to my country and do my, okay, without losing my disability? Yeah, no, no. If you have just regular Social Security disability insurance, no, you can, yeah, if you want to do surgery, that's the big thing nowadays was it medical tourism that people are going overseas and getting their, I guess, hair transplants in Turkey. Yeah, I'm not going to Turkey, get my hair transplant. Yeah, medical tourism where you can go overseas and get the same surgery for 10% of the price, and the doctors over there probably went to Johns Hopkins and did the residency at UCLA or someplace. So I would definitely choose to don't the hospital of outside Bermuda or something. Sorry, Bermuda. Grenada, yeah. Remember the hospital down there? Are the Social Security widows benefits taxable and what percentage? Yeah, any Social Security benefits potentially are taxable. 85% are possibly taxable. Oh, Amilda, thank you very much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Got my my coffee IV for tomorrow. Mana, so I have been penalized for making too much. Deductions automatic $50 per month. I feel like I was misled when I signed up for SSA. I had applied for SSI before retirement benefits began. So yeah, you were probably denied SSI because it's a welfare-based benefit, and if you're working, then you wouldn't get the welfare-based benefit. But yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate that Social Security, the employee or whatever, didn't go through it, but it's on the application about the limitations and everything. It's on the website. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people don't read that, and but Social Security will make the argument that there it is in black and white when we sent you your decision letter. So it's unfortunate. Is it too late for me to put in a claim to stop monthly deductions? Wait a second. What kind of deductions are we talking about? Oh, okay. So for the overpayment, yeah, you can put a waiver in. Absolutely. If you disagree, but 2 things have to be met to get a overpayment waived. One, it's not your fault, and 2, you don't have the ability to repay. So not your fault. And again, they're going to make the argument that it's right there in your decision letter about the work limitations when you take early retirement. And if you're, if you're destitute, then, but you have to jump over both of those hurdles, unfortunately. I'm, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I want to provide correct information. reality. Are you a blessing to all of us? You're SSA ignorant. I'm a new subscriber to your channel. Oh, okay, great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. How long can you stay out of the country before Medicare or Medicare will stop? Thanks, Ed. You rock the cash bar. Right there. Right there. Rock the cash bar. No, for Medicare, you can stay out forever. Yeah, Medicare, you don't have to live anywhere. Except for for Social Security, you can't live in North Korea and Cuba. But yeah, Medicare doesn't matter. Medicaid, your state Medicaid, they will have an issue with you not being in the country because Medicaid is a welfare-based program. Yeah, but in terms of Social Security retirement benefits, you can live anywhere except for those two countries. Medicare Advantage, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, then you have to be living in that particular area that the Medicare Advantage plan covers. Medicare Supplement, they do have limited amount of overseas coverage, but it really depends on your particular plan. Yeah, but if you're gonna live overseas forever, then I just talked to somebody that saved them several $1,000s. They moved to Spain and they're never coming back. They know for sure they're never coming back. So they canceled Part B. They should have did it 2 years early. They wasted $3,000 or $4,000. But think about it long and hard. The political situation wherever you're moving. If you've never lived over there, it's one thing to visit, it's another thing to actually live. So I always tell people to keep your options open. Don't cancel Part B, because if something happens a year, 2 years, 3 years, then you're going to be penalized 10% for every 12 months you go over. And then you can only sign up in January, February, March during the general enrollment period. So invariably, people contact me, come in here and say, hey, yeah, I'm overseas, but I have to come back. And now it's April. It says, well, you have to pay everything out of pocket until your Medicare starts in February 1st. So think long and hard about your decision. I watch you every time. I mess up my question. I'm on disability, and I think I figured out the answer. Thank you, sir. All right, good deal. Awesome. God, awesome. I was married 79 to 88, a few months short of 10 years, but we lived together prior to the marriage. Why doesn't SSA? Yeah. Unfortunately, it has to be the marriage. They do recognize common law. If you actually, lived common law, if your particular state recognizes common law, but if you actually did the whole marriage and divorce and everything, and it was, a day short of 10 years, then unfortunately, there's no exception there. Yeah. Except for it doesn't have to be consecutive, as if you were married to someone for 5 years, divorced, and then remarried that same person by the end of the next calendar year, and then we're married another 5 years, Social Security can add those 2 times together. Why doesn't Social Security mandate Social Security employees? They do. They're supposed to. Yeah, that was completely. Yeah, the Social Security employee should have gone over the annual earnings limit, about $1 for every $2 you go over. But again, it's in the letter, the decision letter. Is self-employment considered towards your Social Security benefits? 40 credits total. Not sure what the question. Self-employment considered towards you. So it doesn't. Social Security is not earned income, so it doesn't give you quarters of coverage. It does count against the annual. It does not count against the annual earnings limit because it is not earned income. So I guess no on both of those. I'm 63 and divorced, and I receive spousal benefits from my ex. If I get married, do I lose my ex spousal benefits? Yes. If there are limited exceptions, but if those are survivor benefits, no. So if your ex-husband is deceased, then you can get remarried after 60 years old. I filed for early retirement at 62. When my husband filed last year, my benefits changed. Now I received a letter saying that I owe them money because someone claimed on his disabled son. Wow. Yeah. So some type of fraud there. Yeah. And if there's any type of fraud, overpayment or something on a particular, what Social Security calls a number holder, the actual person receiving, the main benefits, yeah, Social Security will go after everybody that receives benefits on that number holder. Um, but they just changed the laws on overpayment, so you can request a waiver or reconsideration or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's interesting not sure how all of that happened. The worker told me I can file for Medicare to pay my Medicaid, okay, to pay my Part B, and I can still be on a supplemental instead of Advantage. Yes, you can actually, you can actually suspend. In most places, you can suspend your Medicare supplement for, I've seen different, a year, 2 years or so, and that way you don't have to pay the monthly premium, because it's in a lot of places it's illegal for a Medicare supplement plan, the Medigap, the Plan N or Plan G. It's illegal for them to sell a Medicare supplement plan to somebody with Medicare and Medicaid, because they're getting a premium and they've got no out-of-pocket cost because that person's getting covered by Medicaid and Medicare. So it's like, wait a second, why'd you sell this person that when you're never going to have to pay any of their, well, because it's pure profit, so that's why they can't do it. You can get a Medicare Advantage plan when you're on Medicare and Medicaid. But in your case, if you have a Medicare supplement plan, I would call them up and say, hey, I was just approved for Medicaid. My Medicaid is going to start next month, and I'm paying $80, $100, $120 or whatever to you. What can we do? Can I suspend my Medicare supplement? And how long can I suspend it? And if you're on Medicaid for 2 years and all of a sudden you go off of it, ask them, can I restart my Medicare supplement without any health underwriting? So I would definitely call them up and save yourself that money. I'll be 65 October next year. I'm on my husband's at his job. He's 7 years younger. I get SSDI, then SSI since 49. I'm on Medicaid, not Medicare. Do I file for retirement Medicare or wait till? Yeah, it really depends on you. You should, yeah. If you get SSDI, so your Medicare will start automatically about 100 days before you turn 65. So your Medicare will start automatically. Well, you're on the SSDI, so you've been on. I get SSDI, but SSDI should have already started after being on SSDI for 2 years. So not sure. Do you actually get SSDI or do you get SSI? If you're on SSI, then you're not eligible for Medicare. But if you even get $1 of SSDI, you are eligible for Medicare. So yeah, you should have already got Medicare after being on SSDI for 2 years, if you're in fact on SSDI. Eddie, $4.99. Appreciate it. Support. Thank you for the support, Eddie. That's both mine and my son's name, Eddie. Regarding overpayment letter, did not mention the new law that came into effect. We have 60 months to repayment and also the minimum 10% they can take. Yeah, yes, they just passed the new regulations about a month or so ago. I did a couple of videos on that. Yeah, the 10%, a lot of people are websites and everything. What it was is, if you had an overpayment, Social Security would send you a letter that, hey, you have an overpayment, pay us the money. And if you didn't respond, then they would stop your check 100%. And people move and they forget to update their address, or they don't get the mail, and all of a sudden they can't pay their rent, and it was a nightmare. So rather than, because Social Security wanted, okay, this will make that person contact. If we stop this person's check, then they'll definitely contact us if they're still out there alive and well. But that put a lot of hardship on people. So they changed the law that says, okay, we'll stop, we'll deduct 10%, and that'll tweak that person to contact us, because that's what they're looking for, was that person to contact to make arrangements. So, and rather than 100%, it's just like 10%. So people, when they see their benefit, hey, my benefit's down 10%. So they call Social Security and say, oh yeah, we sent you a letter about an overpayment. So that's what that intention was. But they also, another thing is they changed it. They make it super, super easy now to extend your overpayment to 60 months. So I would call Social Security, and if you're having a hard time paying back that monthly overpayment, call them up and say, "Hey, sign me up for the 60-month thing," and no interest. So you're not, you're not paying any interest because you're delaying. Not like the IRS. Social Security doesn't charge interest. I got my disability when I was 62. I'm 64 now. Should I apply for my early retirement? No, since there is no way I can work because of all the sickness I have. No, if you're on disability, stay on disability, because if you stop your disability and switch to early retirement, then you're going to be losing 30% of your benefit amount. So you just stay on disability until your full retirement age. And at your full retirement age, Social Security automatically switches you from disability to retirement benefits, but your check and everything stays the same. Most people don't even recognize the switch. But there are a very, very, very small amount of people that do stop their disability and switch to early retirement because they want to go back to work and make more money. And with early retirement, you can make up to $22,320, and you don't have the CDR. So, yeah, but very, 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 very few people do that. So, the U.S. courts accept persons living with someone when decisions are made for spousal support when divorcing. Why does Social Security adhere or apply what standards courts have? Yeah, they go by state laws in terms of common law, marriage, and divorce. Thank you for your continued support. Question: can I assume that my husband and I will receive the approximate amount listed on the Social Security webpage? If we are married, do we get what we see? Yeah, they're pretty correct. I just did a short video on that. Yeah, they're pretty correct. It's pretty accurate. But you'll never get your actual 100%, perfect numbers until you actually file a claim. Check your earnings record. If your earnings record is correct in Social Security, you and your husband, make sure you check that. That will make a difference. And then, yeah, it's pretty accurate. But you also have to understand it also projects forward. So if you checked it out, 2 years ago, and you have your little statement that you printed off 2 years ago, and then as soon as you printed off that statement 2 years ago, you stopped working, then the estimates are wrong, because at that time it projected that you were going to still work about the same amount up until your full retirement age. So as soon as you print that off, if your income changes one way or the other, then those estimates are incorrect. But if you're pretty consistent, then yep, it should be good ish. Not perfect. A few dollars here and there. I got one check of SSDI at 49, then got SSI since until now. You said I shouldn't be on Medicare. I was told by Social Security I wasn't when I called them after 2 years. So yeah, I got one check SSDI. So maybe they found, so so that means you're not entitled to SSDI, because if you're on SSDI, then you get Medicare after 2 years, but you're on SSI and there's no Medicare from SSI. However, if you're on Medicaid from the states like to pay for Medicare. So if you're not insured to get Medicare, go down to the state and say, "Hey, would y'all like to pay for my Medicare?" And some states actually pay for your Part A and Part B, because there's a Part A premium if you're not insured. And some states find that to be cheaper rather than covering your medical bills themselves. If you got, like $10,000, for instance, medical bill a month, and they say, "Wow, $10,000 a month for this person." If we paid Social Security Part A and Part B, the $600 or $700, whatever it is, we're saving ourselves $9,000. So yeah, check. And you might be able to get Medicare. And if you get Medicaid and Medicare, you might be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan and get all the extra benefits. So thank you for your valuable information and level-headed debater. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. About level-headed. Sometimes I get frustrated with all the BS out there. Yeah, that's when I start blowing my top. The old Marine Corps sergeant comes out, and then I want to start yelling at people. When I contacted Social Security and spoke with SSA rep, he told me I could not apply for reconsideration for overpayment. No, that's incorrect. But I'm living alone on $1,274 a month with 2 deductions: Medicare, insurance, and overpayment. Yeah, that is 100% incorrect. You can request a reconsideration at any time. So there's 2 things. Watch my videos on overpayments. But you can request a reconsideration. A reconsideration is basically that you think the numbers are wrong, or you don't think that overpayment is even justified. And then there's the waiver. It's the SSA 632, and that's that, okay, but it's not my fault and I don't have the ability to repay. Social Security is supposed to streamline those, because even a lot of Social Security employees don't understand the difference between the 561 and the 632. So I haven't seen Social Security uh, make any determination of how they're going to streamline this paperwork process. But so there it is right now. But yeah, you can it you can request a reconsideration at any time. Um, I would, depends on your overpayment. Yeah, again, if you're only receiving 1274, I would call Medicaid, your state Medicaid, because usually if you're under about 1500, if you've got no other income, I would call Medicaid and apply for Medicaid. So they will pay for your Part B premium. That's number one, through the Medicare Savings Program. And then you might be able to get Medicaid and Medicare, and give us a call, email me, and we'll find someone to get you that one of those Medicare Advantage dual eligible plans and get you some more money. Hopefully, depends on your area. And then depends how much your overpayment. I would get it extended to 60 months. If you've already tried the whole, get it waived and deleted and stuff like that, and if it's just, they're not moving on that part, at the very least, get it set up for a 60-month payback, so you get less taken out every month. And then I would watch my videos on, the living on Social Security alone. It has, the electric assistance program and a bunch of other programs that might make your life easier. And yes, I know the FCC $30 deal has gone, but I made that video before they deleted that. Happy for your valuable insights and answers. You're welcome. When you turn fraud, will the Social Security site say SSD Retirement? The site itself, does it? Probably not. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it differentiates on the website, but yeah, you'll start getting, you might get a letter, but like I said, people come in here all the time, and I'm 80 years old and getting disability. I said, well, actually, the disability stopped, a couple of decades ago, but you're getting the same amount of check and everything like that. So, and there's no more CDRs. No more hoops. You're receiving retirement benefit at your full retirement age. So that's what you're receiving after your full retirement age. So you can earn $1 billion a month, and it doesn't affect anything. It would actually increase your benefit amount, right? My current income is self-employment income, draws from custodial IRAs from the deceased parents and savings account interests. For 2023 matches, okay. Yeah, I'm not a tax person there. So I will be sharing your helpful videos on social media. Thanks. Awesome. Yes, please. Yes, this is how we find money, or this is how y'all find money for people. I just give you all the information, and y'all do with it what needs to be done. Reach out to your family, friends, Facebook, coworkers, next door neighbors. That's how that lady found the $1,100, is one of her neighbors. Now, I think it was she went to the same church. I think it was, yeah, I forget what it was. But yeah, she watched my video and was talking to one of her friends and say, shouldn't you have received this? And they went down with your reference number, and that lady's got $1,100. Even bought her lunch and gave her gifts and stuff like that. So awesome. Awesome. So be a hero. If I stop working at 65 and wait to request Social Security at 67, how can I calculate what I'll receive benefits? Yeah, you can go into the ssa.gov website, do the My Social Security, and then you can put all that in manually. There are companies out there that, charge you, crazy amounts for calculations. There's that famous one that, they give these people a 2-day class, and then they give them a cute little certificate that says they're Social Security experts. And yeah, they just go out there and cause havoc and chaos and give incorrect information because they don't know what they're talking about. But that place is charged, I think it was like $400 or $500 for like an hour, and they give you a cute little calculation, and it's all go into mysocialsecurity.gov, ssa.gov, and that's where you'll get the most accurate information. I was separated from my husband. For 25th year, never divorced. He passed away April 2024. I filed for widow's benefits and was denied because he shortened his name on the marriage certificate. Yeah, that doesn't, I mean, if you never got divorced, if you're separated, Social Security doesn't care about separation. So you were still married according to Social Security, unless, that person remarried and, then it would be, anyway. Um, because he'd shortened his name on his marriage certificate. No, I would fight that one. So I would, you probably already received a decision. It's April 2024, so you probably just filed that, and I would fight that. I would submit once you get the decision. If someone just told you that, then that's not a decision. You need you need a formal decision, an actual letter that says we've denied your claim. And then on that, it'll tell you your appeal rights, and it'll say fill out the SSA 561 and do that. Fill out that 561, submit it, make a copy, submit it, have them stamp it, and that they actually received it and all that kind of good stuff. And then someone else will look at it and make that decision. But yeah, just it's like me. So if I Edgar Weir, or I just put Ed Weir, that's still me. So I don't understand. And if you've got other proof, that y'all live together, bank accounts and life insurance and all that kind of stuff, you were living together as husband and wife, just because the person switched it from, Richard to Dick, or, Bill to, William to Bill, or something like that, shouldn't make any difference. I don't, yeah, yeah, no, I've approved those. Yeah. I've seen those before. William, and that it's just Bill. And so, yeah, William and Bill, same thing. Yeah. So yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. And particularly if you have other type of substantiative, evidence that you're all living together and stuff like that. So yeah, that makes zero sense whatsoever. So please, please, please fight that, and then come back and tell us how you did. I heard that it's very hard, if not impossible, to get out of an Advantage plan. Is that so? Please elaborate a bit on the options regardless. Um, it's easy to get out of a Medicare Advantage plan and go to another Medicare Advantage plan, particularly during October, and there's different, special enrollment periods. But to go from a Medicare Advantage plan to a Medicare supplement, the N's and the G's Medigap plan, then it's more difficult if you're outside of, being 65, or you just didn't recently move, or there's other exceptions depending on particular states. But normally, yes, if you're healthy, then it's easy. um, and healthy in the sense that if, when you sign up for a Medicare supplement plan, they will ask you questions if you're outside of your guaranteed issue right times, and they will ask you about 35 medical questions. And when you answer that, just answer what they you know um, just just answer what they ask. So, have you smoked in the last 12 months? And you're like, well, I do. You know, well, marijuana. No, it's have you smoked tobacco products in the last 12 months? Just answer the questions, is just the facts, ma'am. But yeah, if you're healthy, it's easy to go to a Medicare supplement plan. But if not, and again, healthy, I just had someone send me a note in, yeah, a person had diabetes, but they weren't taking insulin or anything like that. So that's healthy. Um, so it really depends. Yeah. Email me. And if you're interested in switching to a Medicare supplement, but in terms of timing to switch from a Medicare supplement to Medicare, or excuse a Medicare Advantage to a Medicare supplement, then yeah, it's unless you've got some type of special enrollment period, you can't do that until October. So yeah, from a Medicare Advantage to a Medicare supplement. If you're switching from a Medicare supplement to another Medicare supplement, you can do that every day of the year, all year. So if you have a G and you want to see if you can save some money on an N, you can do that all year. If you have a G that's price is starting to go up, then you can switch to another G any time of the year. Again, you know, uh, the other company can deny you. They might have to ask you health questions, but if you're able to do it, yeah, a lot of people do that, and yeah, save themselves some money. Monica, how do I contact you? Yep, email me there and tell me what you need. In terms of, yeah, Medicare, I have, a group of Medicare insurance brokers throughout the country. I've just added the Affordable Care Act insurance brokers throughout the country. So if you need help with Medicare and Medicare plans, Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, even burial insurance, and Affordable Care Act, then email me with your information and I'll have somebody contact you and give you all your options 100% for free. But in terms of Social Security, yeah, nobody can answer Social Security questions, but unfortunately, me. I've been trying to find a retired Social Security employee to help me out, but yeah, nobody wants to get back into the. Nobody wants to do this after doing it for decades. They're like, no, I never want to talk about Social Security again. Um, I'm currently receiving survivor's benefits. Is there any other additional benefit for veteran spouse under SSA? No. Thank you for assistance and information. More power to you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for in terms of yeah, veteran spouse under Social Security, none. Yeah, veterans, it might be something under veterans, but yeah, nothing for VA type of spouse. My question wasn't about taxes, but the income number I should see on. Yeah, it's basically your net income from your work. It's either so your FICA, or if you go into socialsecurity.gov, it'll say what your wages were or what your net income was. I'm not sure what line it is for the taxes. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I have no family here. I'm in disability. Can I move to my country of the Philippines without losing my disability? Yeah, if you have SSDI, there's a lot of people in the Philippines. Just check the YouTube channel and you can see all kinds of YouTubers out there that are receiving Social Security disability insurance and living over there. Just have to make sure you notify Social Security of your address, and if you're living overseas, they send you a "Are you still alive?" letter once a year, and you have to return that by snail mail. So if you don't, then your benefits will definitely stop. All right, so we are over an hour. Let's do one or two more questions of people I've never seen here before. Spouse passed away. He spent 28 years with an airline that went bankrupt. So his pension went to, okay, yeah, his Social Security was reduced by this amount. How getting 50% does that change? Does that mean spouse benefit changes? Yeah, if his primary insurance amount was changed, then yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, the public thingy. Um, then if his primary insurance amount was changed, affected, because they consider that a windfall elimination provision or something, then everybody else's benefit will also be affected. Uh, let's see what other. Can my 80-year-old mom receive VA and Social Security from dad? Um, VA, yeah, even though I'm an old Marine Corps sergeant, I don't know VA like that. I need to hire VA person in the future, but not now. But for Social Security, yeah, um, if it depends on the benefit amount, so whether it's survivor benefits or current spouse or divorced spouse. If it's current spouse, divorced spouse, your mom's has to be less than half of his benefit amount. All right, let's see if who I've never seen before. I don't think I've seen VI. If you're over 65 and currently on survivor benefits and Medicaid and Medicare and inherit money, will Medicaid try to recruit money from you? Yeah, Medicaid, they can do all kinds of squirrely things. They will definitely stop your benefits, but not usually go after you. They definitely do when you go into a nursing home and then you pass away, and then a lot of states go after your house if you have one. Um, but yeah, each state is a little bit different. Some states are a little bit more rambunctious than others. All right, this will be the last one. I should contact the local office about Social Security options just short of 64. Surgeries from illness have been rough. Yeah, yeah, okay. Uh, about Social, yeah. I think you were the one that wanted to go overseas, or so. Yeah. All right. I also shared your program to help other people like me. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And I also put I'm not a great graphic designer, but I designed some flyers. So if you go into the YouTube community tab thing, you'll see the flyers I did, and you can print them off in black and white. They're okay in black and white too. And please post them at your community center and place of worship, and everywhere you possibly can. We really need to get the information out there. So I really appreciate y'all, and everybody that found money appreciates y'all. All right, y'all take care. And